In this video, I'm going to discuss world instruments, the ones that you should know for your IGCSE music examination. And I'm not going to have a lot of pictures, I'm going to have the facts, but I found this wonderful one on the internet showing you lots of the instruments, but you have YouTube. And if you revise, for instance, the Chinese music, go to the different instruments and listen to all the instruments that you should know. So I've got a revision form for today, but I want you to know whether it's a blown instrument, and the way that I play it, because that's quite important. We will also look at the question paper to see how they ask the questions, some of the examples. So make sure that you know the following instruments: how they played, what they sound like, why you say this is from this country. Indonesian, the Gamelan ensemble; African and Arab, rabab, kora, xylophone and the oud; the Indian music, the bansuri, the sitar, the sarangi and the tabla; Chinese music, the chin, the dizi, the arhu; Japanese music, the shakuhachi, the koto and the sho; and Latin American music, the bandoneon, the panpipes, the charangos and the guitars. So from Indonesia, you need to know the gamelan ensemble. You don't have separate instruments. We've got the gamelan, that means to hit or hammer, and it's a percussion-based Indonesian music, played on gongs and metallophones. It usually has a heterophonic texture, because we've got lots of repetitions and improvisations, and often consists of a very fast upper part and a lower part, and also a slow lower part. And anybody can join when they play the ensemble, because the top parts are played by more professional people, and then I have longer notes for the ones that is not so good on the ensemble. And if they ask you, give reasons for your answer. It sounds really metallic, lots of repetition, high variations in tempo, 4 beats in a bar, heterophonic texture, you can say. Now I've made 3 videos, so just look on my channel and find the videos on Indonesia. African and Arab, the first one is the rabab, a bowed string instrument from Arabia with a very small resonating chamber, giving a breathy flute-like timbre. Usually has 1 string, but it can have as much as 3 strings. So it's a bowed instrument. I have to know that. Now for this year, 2022, we've got the kora. I have lots of videos on the kora. You will have that in your prescribed listening section. So go through the kora. The xylophone is a tuned percussion instrument used in lots of African music, which consists of wooden notes resting on chord resonators. It's also used in Western music. I've got a xylophone, glockenspiel, metallophone in my orchestra as well. Now the oud is an instrument that sounds a lot like the guitar. Oud is the same word as lute, but it has not as many strings as the oud. Now, if you listen to Arab music, or in your examination you find Arab music, we know that they have microtonal or quarter notes. That is one of the reasons for your answers. We have short repeating motifs, lots of ornamentation, pitch bending, heterophony, rhythmic cycles, highly rhythmic, uses only a few notes. We have the call and response, and we have a small range of notes. Important keywords in Arab music is Ika, the rhythmic cycle, Makam, it's like the scale, and the Ajan is all the little notes that they will use in their singing or playing. African music features: voices sing in harmony, usually a cappella. We have percussion instruments, we have a call and response. The solo voice is quite important. The song structure is that it's repeated many times. We have drum ensembles. The rhythm is quite important. Polyrhythm, cross rhythm, syncopation, close harmony, use of percussion. We have a master drummer and sometimes use the pentatonic scale. So the call and response is quite important. Now for this section, I've made a lot of videos that you can watch on my channel for both the prescribed work for this year, 2022, and also general revision on Arab and African music. Indian music, we have the bansuri flute, the sitar, the sarangi, the tabla. Okay, and you must also know how it is played. You will see when we do a question just now, you have to know in what category I place these instruments. Give reasons for your answers, the features that I have in Indian music, lots of ornamentation. We have that consistent drone and then sliding and bending. In Indian music, I always have a raga, the melody, always a tala, the rhythm, and a drone. So watch this video on Indian music that you see there if you are unsure about Indian music. Chinese music, you have the chin, the beautiful string instrument. We have the didi, the bamboo flute, the arhu, Chinese violin-like instrument with a breathy time timbre. And give reasons for your answer. It's program music, descriptive, mostly in 4/4 time. The melody is important, no chordal harmony, and it's not dissonant. We have a little bit of pitch bending, pentatonic scale, and heterophony. And for the revision, watch the video that I've made on Chinese music. Japanese music, we have the shakuhachi, it's like a flute, the koto, a plucked instrument, the sho, the mouth organ, okay, and give reasons for your answer why this is in Japan. Through compose, no repetition of sections, small number of instruments, no percussion. We have a melody plus flowing accompaniment. The pentatonic scale is often used, and it's no chordal harmony and it's heterophonic. And something that I can add is that it's quite high. If I can compare this with African music, you've got low basses. Japanese music is high-pitched and it's a little bit pierced. Now, I've made a video, actually 2 videos on Japanese music, and you can go and watch those again if you are unsure. With Latin America, I've got a lot of Western instruments, so it sounds different from other world music. We have the bandoneon, that is a type of accordion. We have panpipes, we have the guitar, and it plays fast syncopated chords, while other instruments play their own syncopated rhythms. Okay, we have the charango, that's that small little guitar, and then give reasons for your answer. We have guitars that's featured. You can say, I hear the bandoneon. The melody is usually doubled in thirds. We have lots of repeated phrases. It's a lively tempo. You have the mariachi music. They like to use staccatos on the bandoneon. And sometimes I hear that the melody goes quicker. We have syncopation, ostinato patterns, polyrhythm, and the tango is in a minor key. So I want you to go on YouTube and listen to all these instruments and see how they are played, okay? And really take time in revising this. Now I'm going to go to a question paper so that we see how they ask the question. Now let's see, this is in November 2020. Let's see how they ask the questions. You will hear an extract for this of music for these instruments here, and look at the skeleton score and read through the questions. So we have 2 questions there.
Each extract will be played 4 times, with a pause between each playing. Music B1. You will hear an extract from a piece for instruments. Read through the questions now.
So they will give you time to read through the questions. So the first thing, listen to whether you can identify where this is from. Now question 10, describe the printed passage. How the printed passage is used as the extract progresses. Okay. Comment
now listen
on
to
similarities
music B1
and differences.
and answer the questions.
So follow the notes there. There it went softer. So I hear a dynamic change. That's one that I pick up. There it grows louder again. Now, what name is given to this type of ensemble? Do you hear that this is a gamelan? And where does this music come from? We know that this comes from Indonesia or Bali. So let's listen to this very important question here. That's 4 marks. Describe how the printed passage is used as the extract progresses. Similarities. Maybe you hear a repeat of the same material. Differences can be in the melody, in the tempo, in the dynamics. So let's listen to that one again. So they give you a long time between to listen to your work.
Music B1, second playing.
The passage is repeated louder, you could have said. Many more instruments are added. It's decorated. Goes softer and then louder again. At the end, right at the end, it's played more slowly and without the dotted rhythm. It's played heterophonically. Okay, so maximum 2 marks you can get for dynamics. And I'm sure that you could all hear the gamelan and that this is from
Music
Indonesia.
B1.
So if they ask similarities, write what you hear, what is repeated, and then also the differences. Now in that same question paper, November 2020, the next world music, I have a table like this where you have to now identify the wind instrument and the string instruments. Okay? And then the next question, so you have to say, what is played by each family of the instrument? So, do they have a fast pattern? Do they play high notes? Do they play the melody? Do they play the accompaniment? If you have string instruments, do they have an arpeggio? Do they pluck the strings? And then where does this music come from? And apart from the instruments that are used, what features of the extract are typical of this type of music? So now you have to give reasons to your answer. So let's quickly listen to that part and then we'll do the questions together.
Music B2, second playing.
I will do question papers from now on, so stop it here and look at the answers.